The Menzgold Heartache, 2 years on.
So in 2018, the woes of tens of thousands of customers who invested their monies in gold dealership firm Menzgold began. Now these include students, teachers, bankers, insurance brokers, and people from across the length and breadth of the country. 2 years on, we are back to find out if anything at all has changed in their lives, how their lives have been impacted in their social structure, and then whether or not there is any hope at all for them to get their monies back.
I have come to meet 37-year-old Ayambila, bedridden for more than a decade after surviving an accident. Escaping a ghastly road accident which killed nearly everyone on board a commercial bus en route to his father's funeral has left him almost permanently paralyzed.
As I'm even sitting, it's like they're using pins to choke me. I felt that kind of pain, it's like pain, because of the fracture. It's completely broken, so the connection is not there. As I'm like this, I can't control my bladder.
Convinced by a friend, he invested an amount of money raised to cater for his medical treatment in the gold dealership firm Menzgold.
There was a friend who told me that he knew of people who have invested in a company called Menzgold, and they are into this gold business. And they give 10%. And I told him that 10%, that yes. That if I wouldn't mind, we can find a day and go there and make more inquiries. They went and met their so-called CRO, their client relation officer. His name I don't want to disclose, but he then took me into how they do their trade, and they tried convincing me. And then I still was skeptical about their operations. I'm really desperate to go outside and trade myself. So that money that I had is not enough, and it's in our local currency. Because I'll be needing about almost $100,000 to go outside and go and seek special treatment. So that also pushed me into it. But I wasn't desperate to get rich quicker or to make money quicker, no.
Shutdown of the company meant his funds and that of several other thousands of people were locked up. It has been a daily struggle for Ayambila since September 2018. He still cannot do anything by himself.
Since the company was shut down on the 12th of September, it hasn't been easy at all. This is money that I'm to use and do surgery. It's not money like it's my own personal money. It's money that I want to use and do surgery and get my condition improved than it is now. So I was suffering from sleepless nights, adding to this problem, which I'm already suffering from for almost a decade now, 10 years now.
His hope is wearing thin, fearing at 37 years, and with his predicament, his days on earth are numbered.
Because I'm also lying down, I buy medications, I have bed sores, I employ the service of nurse to be dressing the sores, I feed, and all these things is a lot of money. After that time to now, it hasn't been easy, boss. It hasn't been easy. It hasn't been easy because as I'm lying down, I don't work. I don't have any source of income. My father is late. When I lie down and I think about all these things, it's like in the family we are not making any progress in life because of this problem.
Ayambila is not alone. I have traveled to Kaswa in the central region. It is where 63-year-old pensioner Francisca Joboka now lives, in an uncompleted structure offered her by someone who introduced her to the Menzgold company. She's down with stroke and facing death threats constantly from her husband, who is blaming her for the woes of a family. She's unable to afford a decent meal after 2 years of frustration following the collapse of gold dealership firm Menzgold.
My husband too has been threatening me that I should go and look for the money for him because he has nothing also to use. We were relying on the dividend we'll be collecting. But here is the case. He's not even talking to me. He's not talking to me because our diet has become poor. Look at where I set fire. That is why I set fire and do the cooking. I fetch water from the ground. We have some manhole there, that's why I fetch water. If somebody happens to give me some cooking, oh, madam, get this, then I buy pure water to drink. My medicines, I cannot afford them. I have them there in my purse. When I was taken to the hospital, they told me it's a sign of stroke. Where do I go? Feeding is very, very difficult in the house.
She convinced her husband to contribute 20,000 cedis to add up to her 40,000 cedis she raised to invest in the firm. But exactly 6 days after the transaction, Menzgold shut down.
I visited a friend of mine, and the friend also told me how he invested into the Menzgold, and they had money and they have even started building. They pay school fees from that investment. So she told me I can also try it. So the broker also showed me the flyers of Menzgold, and I also became convinced. So I quickly gathered my monies with Star Life. I was having insurance there. I gathered them and I had 40,000. My husband also did the same thing and added it. It was on the 6th of September 2018. Then 12th September, we heard the 6 o'clock news about the tragedy that has befallen the company or the investment company. And since that day, because when I was taking my money there, I was entertaining some fears that maybe my money is going to get lost. But I also did it with the intention that we can get money to raise our own house and then use some in paying for my last born. He's very good. His aim is to become a medical doctor. And lo and behold, he passed. He had a single digit and has to go to tech. But there was no money at home. In fact, the following day, I wept the whole night. The following day, I couldn't come out of bed. When I want to wake up, it was difficult for me. So I quickly called my children to come and see to what was happening to me. When they came, they raised me up and one of my legs. And it was like the thing was climbing, going upstairs. I was taken to the Kaswa KPC. They checked my BP. It was 178/80. And since then, my BP doesn't want to go down. When I'm thinking about the whole issue, my BP rises.
The mother of 5 and her family were ejected from their house and recounts the hardships of the last 24 months. With her 85-year-old bedridden sick mother and her last child almost dropping out of medical school, Francesca Joboka says her world is crashing.
My sick mother too is in the room. They can bring her out for you to see. My sick mother, 86 years. She cannot also walk. I don't have money to send her to the hospital. I'm the eldest and the only one left. And the only child left. That's why he was brought here.
The Bank of Ghana on Tuesday, December 5, 2017, in a notice issued and signed by the Secretary of a central bank, Caroline Otu, stated that despite their several cautions to Menzgold Ghana to desist from solicitation, receipt of money, and the payment of dividends to its clients, the company persists in its deposit-taking activity. According to the Bank of Ghana, this was in breach of Section 6(1) of the Banks and Specialized Deposit-Taking Institutions Act 2016, Act 930. The notice said that Menzgold is not licensed to receive money and pay dividends to clients. A year later, on September 7, 2018, the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) ordered Menzgold to shut down its operations. It further requested the company, which had been on the warpath with the Bank of Ghana, not to accept new investments. Agitated customers thronged the various offices of the company to attempt to retrieve their monies. They visited their anger and frustration on some journalists at the scene.
What I can smash this camera right now if you mess up.
Since then, there have been countless protests by agitating customers demanding their locked-up funds. 100 customers were in January 2019 arrested for storming the Trasacco residence of Chief Executive Officer of a defunct company, Nana Appiah Mensah alias Nam1, to collect their monies after he returned to Ghana from Dubai following his arrest over a botched gold deal. Officials of a gold dealership told the media Nana Appiah Mensah won an appeal case with Dubai-based Royal Horizon Diamond and was expected to be paid over $35 million owed him. On August 19, 2019, CEO of a company addressed the press following his return from detention in Dubai.
While my detention in Dubai was harrowing, daunting, terrific, and horrific experience, I am grateful to God because I feel very refined. It has made me older than my age as we grow in our experiences and not in years. I am fulfilled and ready for greater exploit. Highly motivated to add up to our previous gain. I am happy about the disruption, a key trait about a successful business prospect in this information age is the ability to scale. As Mario Andretti, a champion car racer, rightly put it, if everything is under control, you are just not going fast enough.
He admitted it's been a tough road and assured the company would work to honor its financial obligations to their customers.
To our Menzgold customers, we note that you have experienced an increased level of anxiety and concern, but have been extremely understanding and patient with us through these trying times. We continue to recognize and respect your sacrifice. Please remember that your patience and support for us is not an entitlement, but something we earned by the way we worked with you diligently over the past years. I can assure you that it would pay off favorably soon. Together, we are very conscious of our responsibilities towards you, our church's esteemed customers, and we will do everything we can to individually and collectively meet your expectations. To the government of Ghana, we applaud you for not sparing the rod and spoiling the child. We've got your message. We've grown and are ready to accept and take up responsibility, if any.
But after more than a year, the customers say it has been one excuse after another, and the over 10,000 affected members continue to wallow in penury.
I saw it on the telly. Menzgold aggrieved customers wanted to go to Nana Appiah Mensah to collect their money, and they were not treated well.
I was there.
They were not treated well. And how can I go? I cannot go. They were not treated well. And anytime I'm in the house, I ask myself, the one who took the money is back. Why doesn't the government leave him to find ways and means of paying us? He is there enjoying.
If they are, they stand on their feet and then they do the right thing right now by arresting number one today and telling him to do something about the customers, the guy will definitely do something. But they are not doing. They are not saying anything.
According to executives of a coalition of aggrieved Menzgold customers, more than 60 of their members have died in the last 2 years since the debacle. A commemorative event to mark 2 years since the collapse of the company on September 12 and a wreath-laying exercise in memory of the deceased in Accra was also scuttled by the police. Fred Forson is public relations officer of the coalition of aggrieved customers.
They should have even informed us at least 48 hours or 78 hours earlier, because we had come to you 2 weeks ago. So if you have had a change of mind, just call us and tell us. But you don't wait for us to go and incur all these costs, done all the booking, we have made all the payment, canopies, we have informed the pastors who were coming to preach after they will give us a word of exhortation. The Muslim cleric, we have obtained his permission, he will come. The traditional priest would also come. And at the 11th hour, at our blind side, they go to court and stop us from organizing the ceremony.
It's been a long, tortuous road for these customers. Several appeals to the Securities and Exchange Commission and government to intervene have proven futile.
Government of Ghana owes us a duty. Government of Ghana owes us our money. It was the government of Ghana's institution, the Securities and Exchange Commission, which went down to Menzgold to shut it down. And when in doing so, I'm sure they rely on Act 929, the Security and Industry Act, which says that if the commission is satisfied that a person is operating without license, or a person after having obtained a license is operating contrary to their terms of their license, the commission shall. So it's mandatory. In the section 123A says that they should write to the company, which is Menzgold, to repay all our monies to us with even accruing interest. So SEC cannot sit down and tell us that they have no commitment towards the customers of Menzgold.
For now, Francesca, Ayambila and the many other affected customers would hope some help would come after a migration and validation exercise sanctioned by the company.
I think it was last year September, 2019 September. We did it at the Wallan 2, opposite the Wallan 2 road. And we have not been hearing of anything. Anytime the Menzgold customers go there, there is problem. My son too, we couldn't get money for the school fees. I had a land at Akwatia. I have to sell it, 85, and then send my son to school. But this year, I don't know how, or next year, I learned they'll go to school in January. How he will be going is the problem.
We started receiving updates from Menzgold officials. They started with migration actually, then later on it came with validation where customers matched to their various offices, that's xylophone office, they went there to go and validate. And up to now, we haven't heard anything. Not a single client have been paid.
The Economic and Organized Crime Office, EOCO, in January 2019 secured a court order confirming the freezing of landed properties and vehicles of embattled CEO of a company, Nana Appiah Mensah. The properties affected include Menzgold Ghana Limited, Menzgold Office Complex, Xylophone Arts Complex, Brew Marketing Consult, Star Madrid Football Club, Xylophone Music and Media Company Limited. Others include Brew Energy Company Limited, G-Tech Automobile Service, 2 properties located at Trasacco Valley, that's plot number 315 and plot number 337, plot of land number 54 near Oak Street, Trasacco Valley, uncompleted residence, and 510 acres of land. Iyoko, in a statement, directed all employees of the affected companies, relatives, and friends who are in possession of any such properties to surrender same by the authority of the High Court to Iyoko. TV3 News' checks with Iyoko indicate all the frozen assets have been handed over to the Police Criminal Investigations Department (CID). Officials from the legal team of Iyoko told me Iyoko has since 2018 prepared the docket on the matter under the supervision of the Head of Public Prosecutions and the Attorney General's Office and handed over to the police CID. All movable and immovable assets of a defunct company and documentation have also been handed over to the CID. Police sources within the CID say investigations have been concluded and the case currently before court. But customers say the longer the case hangs, the worse they become.
The government should see to Nana Apia, so that he pays our money to us quickly. Because I understand Bank of Ghana is not the one going to pay. It's not the one going to pay. He should appeal to him to pay us our money. I need my money. Maybe when I get my money, my BP can come down.
I want to get myself treated and get this condition improved. That is my expectation. So that even if not for anything, at least I will know what to do with my life than this my life just going waste at my age. I wish I had that money to go outside and seek treatment. Better, treatment there and then get my condition improved. I would have been the happiest person.
2 years on, has there been any lessons learned from the Menzgold Heartache? Chief Executive Officer of Daylex Finance, Ken Thompson, believes not.
It's such an obvious scam. I don't know how we allowed it to happen. And I'm not sure that it will not happen again. Because we all tend to have short memories. But it's so sad because, you see, every time this happens, people lose confidence in the financial system. It was almost as if the Messiah had come from the heavens to make everybody wealthy. It didn't make sense at that time. It will never make sense.
And on whether or not these aggrieved customers would ever get their monies back, Mr. Thompson says there is no hope.
As for the people that have lost money, well, it's unfortunate, but I don't think they're going to get anything back. I doubt it. If they get something back, then probably from the generosity of the hearts of the state.
With the Menzgold Heartache arguably the most publicized financial scam in recent memory, experts say the relevant agencies must act to ensure the players in this circus are prosecuted.
2 years on, nobody's been prosecuted, nobody's gone to court. He's probably living a life of luxury in his 10 or 16 houses that's left. And it's ridiculous because the same thing will happen again and next time will be bigger because there's no incentive for people to do the right thing. You know, it would have been nice, although it's not ideal, that if some people felt that justice had been done. But 2 years on, we're still waiting. It would have been. It doesn't bring the dead person back, but at least it gives you some closure, and that hasn't happened. And I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon.
TV3 News has made several efforts to reach out to the defunct gold dealership firm on the fate of the thousands of investors whose lives have been altered by their inability to retrieve their monies. In a text message interaction with Public Relations Officer Ni Ama Amatefio on Monday, September 28, 2020, the company promised to get back to the team, but that has since not happened. Neither the company nor its public relations officer, Mr. Ama Amatefio, has responded since September 28, 2020. Francisca, Ayambila, and many others like them who are battling depression, stroke, permanent deformities, and other health conditions would hope sometime soon they would hear good news. But how long can they wait?
The baby ara Rikisu kande Sikaye moja Sana sikaye moja